Hey YouTube, so today I'm going to be shooting this video for empaths. So for those of you empaths out there, if you haven't learned to train it yet, I'm going to tell you how. Alright, so I'll start with one of my personal experiences recently. I was in a room kind of at a party, if you want to call it that, with 3 other people. And there was one girl, she calls herself an empath. We'll just use an alias, Ramona. Ramona calls herself an empath, but she also lacks empathy, and she's narcissistic. I don't know if I spelled it right, but whatever, it's just the idea behind it. She's narcissistic. Those two combined create a dark empath. Now, people say a dark empath is the only type of empath that can take down a narcissist. That's not true, because I've made narcissists feel awful, and I've publicly humiliated them too in front of their friends and all that kind of stuff. I've done it a few times. It's called using your shadow side properly. There's a difference between mindless chaos for no good reason and directed chaos. Mindless chaos, you're just hurting everybody around you, but if you're directing it to get a job done, it's very necessary. I humiliated her in front of her daughter to show her daughter your mom's not a good person. Her daughter wasn't either, I didn't realize that. A dark empath, they're not exactly bad people in all aspects. I'm a bit of multiple kinds of empaths in one. I have some of the traits of a dark empath, but I channel them properly, or I try to take down narcissists so other people don't get taken advantage of. I use it for good. Sometimes killing them with kindness doesn't work. So I have a vibrant, bright personality. At this party, or, hangout, she wanted to be the center of attention. She wanted everybody's sympathy. And she was making an episode, trying to, changing all the music on the TV, and, couldn't settle on a song. She changed song, trying to get attention, this is how I'm feeling. Hey, pay attention to me. This is about me. My boyfriend treated me like shit. And I did a tarot reading for her. And as a result, I do that, and she lied to me, because my vibrant spirit disrupted her demons. She wanted to spread more stress and drama, and me having a good time, she felt like she was standing in my shadow. Because she is narcissistic. So, as a result, she said, I need to talk to, we'll call him Jacob, I guess, just Jacob. She said, I need to talk to Jacob for a while, how much? 15 minutes. And she just looked at me. I'm like, do you want me to leave? She said, yeah, I do. My gut told me I wasn't coming back. Now, this is something we all go through as empaths, but she just straight up told me, yeah, I'll come get you or whatever when you come back. I'll let you know. I knew I wasn't coming back. I thought I left my headphones. I was absorbing her negativity because she was spewing it. And I had my headphones, and I couldn't find them because my mind was so chaotic. And that's where that came in. She wanted to be the center of attention, and I was throwing that off. When her sister said, are you okay? She said, I'm fine, nothing's wrong. And I just I gave her a tarot reading on her apparent lover who doesn't really care much about her except for sex. And I don't feel empathy for that, because I've been through so many people that I've told them exactly what's going to happen, because my intuition is very high. I'm multiple empaths in one. And I tell people exactly how something's going to go when they ask for advice. They're like, I need help with this. What would you recommend? I say, do this. They're like, nope, I think I'll do it my way anyway. It's like, then why ask? Anyway, the worst happens when people don't take my advice after they ask for it. And then they get mad. Or they get mad when they hear my advice or my truth or my recommendations. As I say, people want the truth but would rather hear the lie. And as a result, I did a tarot reading on her lover, or kind of lover, whatever, whoever she's into. There weren't exactly, the guy's head wasn't all straight, neither of those were. And it wasn't going to work out, so this guy set her off. And instead of talking about it, she decided to throw a fit to get attention. That's narcissistic. Narcissists throw fits to get attention. They want to be the center of attention. They crave it. They crave drama. Woe is me, life is bad, everyone's out to get me, you're a bad guy. And they'll make the empath look like the bad guy. And as a result, that causes ailments to mental health. So I'm going to tell you exactly how to train that. As hard as it is, I say no. I cannot stress enough, say no. I'm not watching any more empaths go through any more trauma. Say no. Get time to yourself. Use essential oils. You need to have boundaries. Otherwise, they're going to walk all over you. If you don't want someone at your door and you're just emotionally drained and someone knocks at your door if they need something, say no. I can't stress that enough. If you lack boundaries, you're a doormat, and that's what's causing you to feel like crap. That's what's traumatizing empaths. It's hard, I get it. It's hard to say no as an empath, but you need to do that. Otherwise, a person who's worth your healing and not the person walking all over you, let's say someone who actually appreciates you and doesn't take advantage of you, what if they needed that energy from you and you gave it to someone who was just going to blow it off and traumatize you anyway? What's that person going to do? They're going to feel worse than you're going to feel worse because you couldn't help the person who needed it more. The way I see it, narcissists are a lost cause. I wouldn't even associate. They're a lost cause. And I'm going to tell you, I've been through so much mental health trauma and problems from my parents, who are the Christian type of narcissists, that I know a thing or two about it. They're a lost cause. And I would rather be all alone by myself than surrounded by people slowly causing ailments to my physical and mental health. I cut these people out. It is not my job to save humanity. I have a couple people I'll go around. That's it. And that's good for me. We try to lift each other up. I found one guy I'm actually teaching about all kinds of spiritual stuff, and he looks promising. But you have to learn to say no. Even with him, I tell him I can't be there always, all the time. You know, I can't give all of myself and have nothing for somebody else or me. I can't help someone if I can't help myself. That's all there really is to it. There was another guy. Eventually, I got fed up. There was another guy. He was a meth addict. We'll give him a random name. Donald. We'll call him Donald. Donald would come to my house. He'd go to one guy to get meth. And he was using him for that and would get pissed when he couldn't get it and the other guy wouldn't do it. Or I don't know the whole story, but he was a dope addict and he'd go to get meth from him, then come and use me as his sober up. I gave him my pills, food, everything to sober him up, and I got stepped on every time, like an ant in a boot. Just non-stop criticism. And there's a lot of hypocrisy and all kinds of things. I got fed up. I said, I'm not doing this again. And I told him how it was. I ranted, like, let's say this is a phone. I went through at least like 3 scrolls worth of my phone of rants at him. Because I was pissed. I was fed up. Just kept typing and typing and typing and typing. And he was getting upset. And, now he had no one to sober him up. He hated me. And we were on again, off again friends for a long time, but I had to learn to cut things out that no longer served me. They need to help themselves, because you can't help them if they won't help themselves, because then they're going to be using you as a crutch every single time they won't help themselves. And then you're left drained, and they have all your energy and healing. And what are they going to do when they wake up in the morning? Fuck themselves up and other people again. It's an endless cycle. The problem starts with you, then the person involved, then the situation, then the outcome. So here's you, here's the person, here's the conflict that has slowly started, because we have high intuition. There's you, the person, the intuitive feeling you get about the conflict, then the outcome. If you get a gut feeling as an empath that something isn't right, 9 times out of 10, you're right. If you get an impulsive thing to leave, then leave. If you're in a room with people, you, the person, the intuition or the situation, and the outcome. You want to leave if you get a bad intuitive feeling or a gut feeling that the outcome comes next. Once you hit intuition with the person, you want to separate, because then what's going to happen if you walk away? Nothing there. You don't have to deal with drama. And as a result, think of it this way: you want to help people. It's what we do. We're polite. If you want to assist those deserving, then give them a little of your energy. And after you've given enough, once you get the intuitive feeling, leave. That way you've given them some energy to feel better about yourself before the outcome arises and you feel like crap. Because then look where that goes. Back to you. They're untouched. They're fine. Then you feel like crap. I'm sorry, that was out of line. And then they go and do the same thing. You should give them a little energy when they don't like that you're not giving them enough. Then you get that intuitive feeling. Then you leave. You gave them some energy, so there was no outcome. And that's the result. Set boundaries. Get time to yourself. In fact, time to myself used to drive me nuts. Now I love it. In fact, I don't like to go out in public often as a result because of all the negative stuff. I live in a town where everyone had it good and they're raised narcissistic. There's so many in my town, it's kind of ridiculous. In fact, the other day, I about threw down with somebody that I knew those emotions weren't mine, but I was starting to see red. I was ready to. We got pretty close. I had to cut him out too. And he wouldn't help himself. That's the thing. I'm going to end this in a little bit by saying, don't help others who won't help themselves. Because they're going to be using you as a crutch until you get mental health problems. If you get someone with motivation to help themselves, by all means, go nuts. But if they have no motivation and they have an endless repeating pattern of not helping themselves and they refuse to put in the effort, don't even bother. Walk away. You'll find that the one surrounded by few is to be happy. The one surrounded by many is overwhelmed and is likely to fall into the same void everyone around them is. It's that simple. There's not much more I can say on the subject, but set boundaries. Use essential oils. They help the scent. It's calming. Say no and get time to yourself. And for God's sake, even if it doesn't work the first how many times, meditate. Trust me. Meditate. Look into chakra meditations. Here, I'll write it down for people watching. CHAKRA. Meditation. They actually do wonders. Oh, one more thing before I go. Eat